Why
Are you
why
good?
why isn't he able to do?
Well, he can do it. And actually, I just dropped an episode last night. It's just so there's issues. You know how society is today. People are very sensitive. So he's from the South. He's a white dude, big white dude, but he's very liberal with the way he talks in terms of like words. And so if you listen to him, you didn't know who he is. You think he's a black dude, but he likes to throw out the N word, like, fucking Snoop Dogg after stubbing his toe. And I told him, I was like, we're gonna have to answer for that one day, man.
Yeah, that's like, why would you do that?
He's from the part of Florida that like touches Alabama. You know what I mean? And so he's got that Duck Dynasty idea where in his head where he's like, "Oh, it's cool where I'm from." I was like, "Where you're from, though." The rest of the
Yeah, dog.
the
Like,
rest
look,
of the country,
that's not how the world works. It ain't about where you from. It's about where you at. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's very true. I like
I mean,
that,
that's
and I've told
that's
him
half of the
before.
equation. Yeah,
Yeah,
what the fuck difference would be matter where you from? You can't like
yeah. Well,
you can't.
it's ruining careers, dude. Did you just hear about that NASCAR guy?
Yeah, I just read that. Yeah, I'm like, bro. Hey, look, I don't really have no sympathy for that dude. To be honest with you.
No.
It's
And
like,
here's the
bro,
thing.
you
Go ahead.
you just casually thought the N word in frustration. Because the thing is, he wasn't talking to no. It wasn't no black people there.
No, it's NASCAR.
You know, because see, I could almost get it if you were like if you were in the middle of like a heated thing with a black person and you were trying to like just be hurtful and say the most hurtful thing and it came out, I would almost get it. But he was just frustrated about basically they call it a virtual race, but it was basically a video game.
It's a
He was just
video
frustrated.
game.
Yeah, he was frustrated, and he wasn't talking to no black people. He was just in his own frustration. His default word is nigga, and so you can't come back from that. You can't be like that's not how I was raised. Yes, you were.
Yes, you were.
That is how you was raised. But you know what? Something else I found out was like he's Japanese. He's half Japanese. So I don't know. I guess that's not even really relevant, but it's just something that you wouldn't think.
But well, so he's half Japanese, so he's not completely white, so he's not totally at fault because like
Right.
he should be able to get away with saying it at that point. Japanese,
Well,
come
see,
on.
I was just thinking. No. Here's the crazy shit about it. Right? What's his name? His name is Cal
Kyle
Larson.
Larson.
So so in this transcript of the thing, the first person to say anything was Anthony Alfredo, and the first thing he said was, "Cal, you're talking to everyone, bud." Like he didn't go, he didn't go, "Hey man, what are you talking to?" He was just like, "Hey, everybody can hear you. Like I know when it's just us."
I don't.
Like yo,
You can
that's so
say that if
funny.
it was just you and me standing around, but
And,
well,
and
it
then
just
the next guy, Aaron Mc, I don't know how to say it, McEachern or McEachern. He goes, "Yep, we heard that." And then Connor Daly, for whatever reason, his name's in red. He goes, "Yikes, man! You know that's over with when a white person say yikes."
yikes. That's
Mm.
definitely that's like a golly gosh from our fucking people.
Yeah,
The crazy thing is how does that even come out playing a video game? Because I play video games, you know what I mean? Like, and you die.
oh,
That's not the
man,
first thing that's gonna happen.
it's mad race. You know, people. That's what I'm saying. See, when I'm playing video games, usually I'll hear the N word from like little kids that's trying to like get under my skin. You know what I mean? Because I'm whooping that ass. I don't show mercy to children. Like if you hop on the sticks, whether it's Madden or Overwatch or Halo or whatever, it's like I'm gonna get in your ass. Don't get off of rank mode if you ain't ready to play rank. You know what I'm saying? So some of
Yeah,
these
oh yeah.
kids, they get frustrated and they can tell you black or they think you black based on how you sound. Because that's what I'm sure whoever your friend is, you say you would think he was black if you just talked to him on the phone. He
Oh
probably
yeah.
gets called all the time on Xbox Live or whatever. But my point is like this guy wasn't. That's not what his situation was. That was just like he says nigga at home when he stub his toe. You know what I mean? Like that's his frustration word. it just naturally, he just it just his default, like, fuck it. Because what did he say? Hold on, let me see what he said exactly. He said,
yeah, what do you say, Kyle?
After crashing during lap 6, Larson apparently had a difficult time communicating with other drivers, and that's when things got bad. He said, "You can't hear me? Hey, nigga."
But okay, but here's the question.
Wow.
Was he trying to say it all smooth, like talking to people, like if he was like rapping along with Jay-Z in his car? Or did he say it all biting?
Well, I don't have, let me see here, because you know what? I do have it. Hold on. Can you hear that? Hold on, I'll tell you what it says. Oh my God.
Did they bleep it?
Why they bleep it? Hold on, let me say it one time.
I can see it. You can't hear me? Hey,
you know what's so wild is
Kyle, you're talking to everyone, but yeah, we heard that. I can see it. You can't hear me? Hey.
See, the thing is, you know what? Okay, so I completely misread the situation. He wasn't like he wasn't like emotionally overwhelmed, nothing. He was just chilling. He's like, "Hey, nigga, you can't hear me?" Like, what? That's crazy. Like, he's not.
That's what they call each other when they're not playing NASCAR online.
Wow. And then here's the wild shit too. The racing team he worked for. What was the name? What's the name of these folks? No, okay, wait a minute. There's another wild thing too. So he espouses that that NASCAR's Driver for Diversity program helped him out. You know what I mean?
Because he's half Japanese?
Right. But his racing team, what the fuck was the name of them? I just saw it up here. But they said they suspended him. They suspended him without, Chip Ganassi Racing. They suspended him without pay pending an investigation. What they gotta investigate?
They're gonna check it.
Like that's an open and shut case.
No, they're gonna have to bring in CSI for that. His lawyer's gonna be like, technically it's his friend.
Well, here's the thing. To me, I'm from the school of people that's like, your actions matter more than your words. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know, man. It's like, how do you casually say nigga like that and you not doing other racist shit? You know what I mean? It's like,
see, the thing is, it's like, see, I grew up in northern Michigan, so you can't get much more white than that. And it's not part of my vocabulary. I'm not trying to like sit there and placate you. It just doesn't roll off my tongue. I think I said it once in like 8th grade. You know what I mean? And then I was like, oh, that came out wrong.
I don't know, man. But you know what it is, man? It's like, for me, I'm just like, right, wrong, or indifferent. I don't have my cape on for people that's millionaires or whatever. I don't know if every NASCAR driver is a millionaire, but they make him he's doing pretty well, and he's gonna be back driving. You know what I mean? Because let's be honest, most of the people that watch NASCAR don't give a fuck, and so he ain't gonna, because in America, man, money talk bullshit. Wow, don't nobody, like, they have to make a whole show of going, we're gonna investigate it. This is gonna be unacceptable. But the truth of the matter is, there ain't a lot of people that's gonna be like protesting not spending money on NASCAR because he said nigga on the stream. Like, nobody, you know what I'm saying? It's like the reason, like, look, I'm a Washington Redskins fan. You know what I mean? And the truth is, the reason why they not gonna ever change the name of the team is, let's just say we can agree that the name is racist, right? It's not. It doesn't matter, because the people that spend money on Redskin stuff don't give a fuck.
No,
you know what I mean? And so it could be, look, every Native American in the country could sign a petition, and it won't fucking matter, because if you don't buy Redskin tickets, they don't care. You know what I mean? That's If you can't make a rich man do shit unless you making him lose money. It's just that simple. So
I looked it up, and Kyle can go without some pay. He's worth $13 million.
Yeah, so he'll be fine. And the thing is too, he'll find some other way to make money. Like once you, I mean, listen, like the system in America is set up so that once you have money, you can just make money. Nothing can stop you from making money. You know what I mean? Unless you lose all your money in one fell swoop. As long as you got money, you're gonna make money. So he'll be fine. He won't be able to race NASCAR, which is, I don't know, man. I don't know if it would be like if somebody walked up, somebody made me like stop doing comedy. I'm like, shit. But I'm good though. Like I'm good financially, but I can't. I guess that's what's happening now. I was like, I'm good financially, but I can't do stand up, and it's driving me a little crazy. But
yeah, I can imagine they closed a lot of shit. There's nothing going on, right?
No, absolutely nothing. Actually, there may be some people having like guerrilla shows or something somewhere, but.
Well, like I was reading that like Chris D'Elia's putting stuff on Netflix in like a day or two. So he had one bagged, you know what I mean?
Yeah, one in the can, yeah.
Yeah, so and hopefully there's a lot of stuff like that. But then I listen to Joe Rogan a lot. And then he had shows like for 420 and that shit got pushed off till October. You know what I mean? And so for it to be something like that where people are canceled, like what was your next show before they locked everything down?
What's wild is I was in the middle of filming something, and I had just started headlining on the road, like away outside of the California, like outside of the West Coast. You know what I mean? Just because before my previous situation, I couldn't really leave the West Coast very often, right? And I had done a few casinos, and then I went to North Carolina, and I was supposed to go to Seattle next. That was my next thing.
Okay.
And while I was in North Carolina, the Seattle thing got canceled, and I was supposed to go to Austin after that. It was just like everything just got canceled, man. Everything dried up. All the TV stuff dried up. Everything got postponed. It's going to be a mess when it all comes back, because I think some people have a unrealistically optimistic view of when shit's going to go back to, because it's just not going to go back to what it used to be. But when things are going to be, like when this is all going to be over. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it's like a tourniquet effect. You know what I mean? Like you can only have one on for so long before you got to lose that leg. And shit's been cut off for so long. A couple weeks ago it would have been like, nah, that's fine. But now it's kind of like we're gonna need a hard reset or something, because then you're gonna have like 50% of the people that are like, they're just fucking ready and raring to go. They're gonna go out there. They're not scared of anything. And then there's gonna be the other 50% are like, you're still some dirty motherfuckers. I don't want to go out there.
Yeah. Well, but there is a silver line, because to me the silver lining is just that like so often fucked up shit happens in the world that doesn't touch America. You know what I mean? It's like we always have this view like it's like shit is happening far away, and a lot of I think that the average American doesn't connect their own action to something that's happening somewhere else. You know what I mean? Even sometimes within the country. You know what I mean? It's like when you first heard that it was, this is getting bad in New York City, or this is getting bad in Seattle, you're like, oh, well, that's tough for them. You know what I mean?
Tough for New York City.
It don't really connect to you, but now it's like something that's happening everywhere. That's a whole other thing, man. I think it makes people feel. It's weird. It makes people are separate, but they also feel connected in a way that probably haven't in a long time, since like World War II or some shit.
Are you talking like that September 12th thing, where it's like the day after 9/11, everybody was coming together?
Right, but this is like 9/11 everywhere. You know what I mean? But actually, no, because even 9/11, like even 9/11 wasn't like this, because 9/11 was violence, but it was still violence that happened somewhere else, unless you were in New York City.
Yeah,
it was like, yeah, that happened to the United States, and I have, what is patriotism, and that sort of thing. But it was still something. It wasn't no chance that I was gonna get blown up in a building. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
now it's like this shit could kill anybody. It could get anybody anywhere. You know, everybody has to stay inside. Everybody losing money. Well, no, not
That's
everybody.
fucking
Some
true.
people making money hand over fist.
Like
You
them
know.
dudes that are like stockpiling hand sanitizer. Like you
Man,
gotta give
fuck
it up
those
to the
people.
industrious people.
And they so dumb too because now you can just get the shit. It's like that shit was they were trying to price gouge for like a week. Same thing. Actually, I'm gonna make a video after this about DuPont. They trash too. They try like all the people trying to like profit from it, and they doubled and tripled their prices for stuff. You know, it's like fuck those people. Those are the most garbage human beings.
Oh yeah. Like I was in a Target a couple weeks ago and they had like a 12 pack of I know Smart Water is expensive, but it wasn't even the big bottles, and that shit was like $17.
Yeah.
Like that was fucking garbage right there. I don't know. It's just so down here, I'm in San Diego. They got hand washing stations for the homeless people. They put out like they do it like construction yards. They got them shits just like lining up and down the block behind Petco Park because they're building and they're trying to push all the homeless guys out into like East Village and shit like that. But that's another problem too. You got a lot of people. You're in LA. LA's got a giant homeless population. And how do you mitigate something like that without fucking people just dropping dead left and right? And then it shows how little people actually cared.
I'm scared to death to go to Skid Row because it is weird because me and one of my roommates we go on like we wait till like 2-3 in the morning and go for like long walks so we can just get out the house and not be around people.
Yeah,
you know. And yesterday we walked through this area where it's usually homeless people, and I think I saw one tent. You know, when there's usually like 20 or 30. Or at least people sleeping in the doorways and stuff like that. And there was nobody. And I wonder what the fuck. I mean, I know Skid Row ain't empty, and that Skid Row is probably a nightmare, right? Have you ever been up here and been to Skid Row?
Oh yeah, a lot. I used to before I left, I used to drive a truck, and I'd be in LA every single day.
Yeah, Skid Row serious out there. So I don't even know. I can't even imagine what it's like over that motherfucker right now. Like everybody's sick. Got to be.
Do you think like they've got like their own like homeless population doctor? Like one guy that knows
honestly,
that he made.
No, to be honest with you, I think that the coronavirus was here before all this. You know,
Before August?
No, not before August. I said before all of this. Before.
Oh, they said August. Sorry, yeah. Yeah.
But I think it was here. I think it was here in early February.
Dude, they were talking about December. Like people had that crazy cough in December, and everybody's like, that might have been the fucking beginning of it.
Everybody's like, oh, it's a real bad flu season, you know. And it's like, because here's the deal. Like people get upset when they got upset at them for saying that it's the Chinese virus or the Wuhan virus. And I kind of agree with that a little bit because it's not that that's not accurate. It's just that it makes ignorant people,
it's unnecessary.
It's unnecessary, and it makes ignorant people behave
validate
irrationally. So it's like they out here attacking Asian people, they out here attacking Korean people. You know what I mean? It's like that kind of shit. But the truth is, the Chinese government, though, they fucked us. They fucked the world because they tried to keep it under. I mean, they made the same mistake that every other country made, but they was just the first ones to make it. But they tried to downplay the seriousness of it, and then sometime in I want to say January. I should have got my facts together, but my point is just that there was a time where they locked down travel in China from Wuhan to anywhere else in China, right?
Yeah.
But not to the rest of the world. So you could still leave Wuhan and go somewhere else, but not nowhere else in China. So you understand what I'm saying? So there was a point where they knew how serious it was, and they wanted to stop it from spreading around China, but they ain't stop it from spreading around the rest of the world. Well, I mean, by then it was probably too late.
So that the doctor Li Wenliang, that was the guy that he leaked the whole thing. He was like, there's this really bad strain of coronavirus going around here in China. And he ended up getting it and he died from it. And before he died, the Chinese government, they made him sign a letter that said he gave false statements about it. So they definitely 100% knew about it before it was even, while it was spreading, you know, it went from China and then it was in Thailand, then it was in the Philippines, and then like a Chinese citizen died in Europe of it. You know, and then it got in Italy, and then we finally got the first case in the United States, and then, you know, USA #1. Now we got the most cases, but
he was being investigated for spreading rumors. Oh, I see this motherfucker. Yeah. Spreading rumors.
So it's like, did he die of the coronavirus? Or did he die with a black bag over his head in some alleyway in fucking China? As the Chinese government's pretty corrupt. Like, we can't deny that. Like, they censor movies over there. They cut out like 30 minutes of Iron Man 3 because they said some bad shit about China.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely an authoritarian regime, and no doubt about that. You know, I ain't caping for their government whatsoever. Like, yeah. I mean, they are worse than our government they're just, or I'll say our government is just as evil, but just in different ways. You know,
we're polite about it.
Yeah, we at least polite. You know.
Well, it's fucked up when you know, like, your government's corrupt, or you know that they're evil, but they're doing everything they can to stop trying to look evil. Like Saudi Arabia, you know, they clearly killed that Khashoggi guy, the journalist. But then they're like,
"What you mean Khashoggi? Who was that?
What? Okay, so
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, I'll give you a quick one.
How you spell Khashoggi?
Khashoggi. He was he was a journalist. I think he was Saudi or Iranian, but he had American citizenship.
Jamal Khashoggi. Oh, this is from last year.
He went to, if I'm butchering it, he went to the embassy, the Saudi embassy in like Turkey or somewhere. And basically they fucking put him. There you go. And they took him to a back room and fucking cut him up and put him in a bunch of, like, a suitcase, and carried him the fuck out of there. And then,
but why did he walk into their embassy?
He was I mean, for one, he thought he was safe, but I think he was reporting on the Saudi royal family. He they just didn't. He was like on one of their lists, because you can't, you know, in countries like that, you can't speak out. But yeah, they straight up cut him up and walked him out of there in a suitcase. Like, it was on record, like they recorded it. It was on video, and you saw a guy walking out with a suitcase, you know, that had 50% of Khashoggi in it.
Wow.
And then
covered major stories for decades. Oh, he was close to the Saudi royal family for decades.
And so he had a big giant fucking target on his head. Yeah, you don't remember that?
Oh, wow.
And it was a big deal too, especially because, like, whatever political side you were on, it was a big deal because Donald Trump came out and he was like, well, I believe the Saudi family when they say they don't know who did it. And then quickly after that, they found like 5 people, and they're like, oh yeah, these are the ones that did it. And they sentenced them to death and fucking streamlined it in and out. It's one thing where it's one of those, like, you know, it's like, I'm a big fan of Hunter S. Thompson. You know what I mean? And he would end his books with a Latin saying, res ipsa loquitur, which means the thing speaks for itself. So it's like, it goes without saying, you know what happened, but officially on paper, we got to pretend like it wasn't what it is, you know. And it goes back to the whole, like, you're trying to maintain some kind of semblance of civility, but in your fucking government, but you know they're doing this. You know the Saudi royal family was behind this. You say anything, somebody's gonna put you in a fucking duffel bag and carry you out the back door.
Yeah, they murked his ass. Wow.
Dude, there's like recordings of him like screaming on the table and shit. Like he was alive when they were like dismembering him. It was some straight up Tom Clancy shit.
But why the fuck would he go into that embassy? I don't get that.
Thought he was safe. I mean, you go into an embassy, it's like the one safe place. Like you could, I got, not been.
Well, it depends on which country's embassy. I mean, why would you go into the Saudi embassy when you could just?
Because he was a Saudi citizen, I think.
No, so, but what I'm saying is he's in Istanbul, right?
Yeah.
Why would he why would he walk into the Saudi embassy or when he had the option to not go into the Saudi embassy? Like, did he have a reason to go in there? I mean, why do you feel the need? Right. So why you feel the need? Plus, also, does it matter that they killed him? I mean, what again?
Well, it was kind of a big deal because he had United States citizenship, and then it's at the height of like Donald Trump saying fake news, and then journalists around the world felt attacked, and so that was just another thing where they're like a detriment to the truth, that kind of campaign. So if they're out there just silencing people that are going to say the truth, they're going to speak their mind, and they're going to fucking cut you up and put you in an Under Armour bag and walk you out of there like they're leaving the gym, that's not good for anybody. And can you imagine? You thought you were in there, you go in there safe. Somebody's like, hey, Jamal, why don't you come back here for a second? Walk in this fucking room with a big steel surgical table on it. We want to talk to you. And he's like, okay.
U.S. President Donald Trump described it as the worst cover-up in history. However, he defended U.S. ties to the kingdom, a key trading partner. Yeah, but that would be like, it's like there's certain countries where that would be like if China was if you was talking shit about the Chinese government and you were from China. Yeah. Why the fuck would you walk into the Chinese embassy? Why you think you're safe there? That don't make sense. It's like especially when you're literally when you've literally fled the country and reported on the evil dictator type behaviors that's happening in your country, why would you think that all of a sudden they follow the rules? That don't make sense. I'm not trying to say dude's stupid. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying I must be missing some information.
It's definitely a bad choice.
Or he did not choose to go into the embassy. Like maybe he was coerced into the embassy because
something like that.
It had to be
video of him walking in. So
right, but they had to be like, "Hey, bro, we found your grandmama. Come talk to us. The prince want to talk to you on the phone or something. But
the embassy's like, that's weird, but okay, let's do that.
Yeah, there's no way I'm going into my enemy's house and then being surprised at what happened.
So I haven't done it yet, so I'm not gonna claim I know about it. But like, I would imagine dismembering somebody while they're alive is pretty messy and loud. So I wonder what, like, could you imagine if you're sitting there fucking typing at the embassy, you're just like an administration clerk or something, and somebody's screaming, and then you look over and they're like, "What are they doing?" They're like, "Shh, this is my first day on the job. Don't say anything."
Yeah, it was like, or meet me at Starbucks, motherfucker. Like, dude, let's Skype. But I ain't got to talk to the prince in the embassy.
See, that's a good idea, man. If you're wanted by governments, I'd be like, "You gonna talk to me? And we're gonna Skype this bitch out." Like, I'm not showing up anywhere. You're not gonna fucking cut me up on the back of a table.
No, not I. In fact, you're never going to see me again. I'm not going to ever be in a situation where you're going to be able to get to me unless you come to America and fuck with me here. Because I ain't. Why am I in Istanbul? That don't even make sense at all.
Could you imagine though? Because it's one thing we can talk shit about the government here, and nothing really happens. Like people talk shit back to you on Twitter. But like, could you imagine living in one of them fucking countries where they're gonna hunt you down? They're gonna send people. Like people are coming to your door.
I'm looking up what is Istanbul known for? The Blue Mosque, niggas, other mosques. What are you there for? Top 10 tourist attractions in Istanbul.
I hear it's nice, aside from the embassies.
The Galata Tower, that look like trash. A museum, we got mad museums over here. Church, fuck church. The Beliska Cistern, these are just old buildings. Not one tourist attraction is just not an old building. Another.
You want to see an old building? You want to go see an old church and be like, look how many people were oppressed there.
Grand Bazaar, that's just a shitty mall.
It's like a swap meet.
Top Copy Palace, it's an old house. Another mosque. And the Hagia Sophia, which I'm guessing is another church. That's it? Nah. Mm-mm.
You know what I've always heard, though, people go to Turkey for? The pussy.
To Turkey? Wait a minute. Is Turkey Istanbul?
Istanbul is the capital of Turkey, I think.
Oh, okay. Right. Because it used to be Constantinople, and I only know that from that song.
From the song. That's the only time I ever think about that. You got government officials at your door?
No, I got roommates.
I got you. So I kind of like stalked you a little bit and looked at some bios because you got like an improv bio they got you on, and you were in the Marines.
I have an improv bio. God, I wish I had.
Fuck yeah. You type in your name, comedian. I think the first thing that pops up is like something all about you.
No, that's not true. Oh, well, okay. Oh, I do see that. Yep, I sure did. See, yeah, but you know what? If you just type in my name, it's a fucking musician. I'm gonna find this motherfucker.
For the last my thunder.
For the last decade, this guy Brian Simpson, he's a jazz pianist. And for whatever reason, when you Google Brian Simpson, that's what comes up. It's him, the jazz pianist. Anyway,
that's a bummer.
Yeah. I was in the Marines. Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Did you imagine though, like if you end up like some girls like, oh my God, you're Brian Simpson, and you're all excited about it, and then they think you're the musician?
Yeah, I mean, there's probably some people that's expecting that, man. This dude is
Is it a black dude?
No, it's not a black dude. But you know what? I've never listened to his music. Maybe I should check out his music, and then maybe I'd be like, oh, I get it. He's a beast, but I doubt it.
Nah, and hit him up, and maybe he'll like your comedy.
Nah, I don't even want that
like
connection.
Each other's shit.
Nah, he's my adversary until I see otherwise. You know what I mean?
Oh, I got you. Your doppelganger out there that's taking all your stardom.
Hey, so you know what? He's got 6,000 Twitter followers. That's a lot.
Well, what's more important, Instagram or Twitter followers?
And none of that shit's important for real.
Well, none of it's important. Like
no. I mean, it literally don't matter. None of that shit matters. To me, podcast listeners are the only thing that really matter. That directly translates into anything meaningful. Because you can have somebody can have, because you can buy Twitter followers, you can buy Instagram followers. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't directly translate.
There's nothing sad about that.
People do it, you know. But I just mean it doesn't make people buy things. Somebody that listens to your podcast will buy a ticket to your show. Somebody that follow you on Instagram might have just seen a meme you posted that one time and followed you and never ever checked back on what you're saying ever again. You know what I mean? So it's like the industry uses now. It matters. The thing is, it matters to the people that think it matters. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
some industry people will try to measure you by the followers because they don't know what else to do because they don't really. Their job is like their bullshit job about who's talented and who isn't. It's like that's the only way they can show somebody else other than showing somebody else with your comedy. You know what I mean? So it's a way for them to pretend like they know what they're doing. You know, so
okay. Well, let me ask you this. Have you ever run into you know, you do comedy all over. Have you ever run into any of those like YouTube or Instagram comedians, the ones that don't go on stage? They do like they just do like the skits or anything like that. Somebody hits them up. They're like, "Hey, I'll represent you. I'll put you on some shows," and then they go up on stage, like some Steve-O type shit.
Yeah, I run into them sometimes.
Are they? I mean, are there good ones? Are there bad ones? Do some of them eat shit? Do some of them just like you're embarrassing me and
I
yourself?
mean, most of them are not. Most of them are not funny. I mean, because the thing is, not everybody that's an Instagram star is not a comedian. Like some of them do go on stage, and you can tell.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, yeah, you can tell who goes up and who don't. I mean, to me, that's all that matters. It's like, you know, I don't like the people that try to like that try to like infiltrate. Because there's a lot of people that do that. They come here, they've been doing comedy for 2 years or 3 years, and they think that they're owed something. Like they think they're supposed to, you know, jump the line because they have, you know, 1,000, 10,000 followers or whatever the fuck the number is. You know what I mean? And it's like, and then they can't do the job. Because that's all that matters to me. Is like, I don't care if you've been doing comedy for 3 months. You know what I mean? It's like, can you do the thing? And a lot of them can't because they don't do it. They don't practice it. You know, obviously, and 3 months is not enough time. But
No.
you know, but I stopped. But I don't even, honestly, I don't even give a fuck about it. It's like, I'll let you go up there, you bomb, you do you, because eventually it's not gonna matter to me at all. You know.
Well, at this point right now, how long you been doing comedy?
Now, so I started in 2011 or 2010, wasn't it? So almost 10 years.
It's 2010 because that's when I met you at the Madhouse. So you're doing it
Really?
then. You know?
Are you sure it was 2010?
I guarantee it because my dumbass was working at the Irish pub downtown on Fifth, and so when I get a break, that's when I would go over.
Nah,
when
because
they open mic.
the Madhouse didn't open until 2011.
Do I have my year wrong?
Yeah, the Madhouse opened in November of that year. At least, listen, this is the narrative that I've been saying this whole time. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that the Madhouse didn't open until November of 2011. If I'm, I guess you can't find out from looking at the website, but.
Have you been there since they've been down on 4th?
God damn. Yeah. I was there on the first weekend or the first New Year's. This breaks my heart. I can't even look at this right now. just no shows. Just none.
What about do you know Ryan Davis?
Ryan Davis. That sounds very, very familiar.
He's that guy. Like he's got that Facebook thing where he plays a little video right next to him while he talks.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Because I remember watching this dude make fun of Odell Beckham Jr. No, I don't know him personally, no, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, he did the other day. He did some kind of Def Jam comedy live with like Cedric the Entertainer, where you know how people do Zoom or House Party.
Yeah.
It was something like that, you know, and like Mike Epps was on it, and they did like 10 minutes, but it was funny, but it was like really surreal because you know you got these guys sitting in their office or their house and stuff, you know what I mean, doing like 10-15 minute bits sitting in an office chair at home. You got anything? You gonna do anything like that?
Absolutely not.
No, it's not your flavor.
Nah, man. I mean, to me, it's like I understand the people that do it because you know they get something out of that, but when those things just make me feel like shit. You know what I mean? It ain't the same feeling as stand up.
Yeah,
you know
I can imagine.
Yeah, to me, it's like having phone sex or something. You know, it's like, I mean, how long can you do that before you like, you know what? I'll just wait.
40 minutes. 40 minutes is my answer.
No, but it's like to me, it's not a substitute. It doesn't make me feel. It doesn't fulfill that thing that I'm missing from not doing stand up. You know.
You need that energy from the crowd.
Yeah, it's like my doctor said, "Hey man, you have a vitamin D deficiency," and it's like, and then I'm just drinking beer, you know what I mean, or eating hamburgers, and it's like, yeah, I mean that's making me feel something, but it's not giving me what I'm missing, you know. It's like I need that real, you know. But
It is
some,
bizarre.
but everybody's not me. Some people they get, you know, because some people don't need they get something else out of stand up. They need attention or they need to just get the joke off or just to say it to people. But I need the whole thing, and anything else it don't feel the same to me. And you know, and maybe comedy is pivoting to that. Maybe it'll just be Zoom shows, and then and if that's the case, then I'm fucked.
No, because like you can read online, but you can still buy a book or a magazine. The thing is like when I said it was surreal with Def Comedy Online, you know, it's give and take with the audience too. So I was watching Last Week Tonight with John Oliver last night, and like all those shows, they don't have audiences now when they do them. So here's, you know, it's like a late night kind of thing. John Oliver, he's spewing out his jokes and shit, but there's no audience reacting or laughing to it. And it's just him talking into the camera. Imagine like Jay Leno talking, and you don't hear people in the background laughing. You know what I mean? And it's just it's bizarre in that way. So I would fucking hate for it to go the way of Zoom, of just like somebody trying to talk online and show a video. You know what I mean? And there's always gonna be that desire where you're gonna want to see somebody go up there and talk. Like I was watching earlier this morning. I was watching your Lights Out bit. I fucking love the black people are like pennies joke. I love it. You know what I mean? And it gets a good reaction and the energy behind it. So, you know, it's cool that people are fucking trying to stay busy, you know, and try to stay creative and keep that muscle going. But there's just absolutely no way that can replace that. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, to me, it's like it's not even close. It's not the same thing at all. Um, but what can you do though? You know,
You got to wait this shit out. Who knows how long it's going to, because I was looking at plane tickets, because plane tickets are cheap as fuck. But I'm sitting there going like, how far out am I going to buy one? And then you know, here comes October and you still can't fly. You know, like you can go to Dublin if you want to go to fucking Ireland for whatever reason right now. And I did it in like June, and it's like 900 round trip to go to Dublin.
Oh wow.
And it's like $95 to go from San Diego to San Francisco. But that's the risk you take.
But why would you go to Dublin?
I don't know. Just picking a place. I live in San Diego. I was telling my wife, I was like, I don't know if I want to go to a beach place. I live in a beach place. I want to go see some boring ass old churches in fucking Istanbul.
I mean, to me, man, it's like San Diego is San Diego as far as like just weather. That's where it's at. There's no reason to go nowhere else.
It's fucking raining.
Unless it's an experience. Yeah, but even when it's raining, it's better than other places when it's raining. You know. It's like because you know it's raining all over. This weather is going through the whole South, and then now it's about to go fuck the North up. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
Well, once that shit gone, it's gonna be used to you back in San Diego, bro.
I know. I'd rather take a rainy day here than a sunny day in Detroit.
Yeah, I tell you what. Yeah, that's the motherfucker's accurate in the motherfucker. I mean, honestly, without the weather, San Diego is Detroit. You know, let's be honest. Like everybody, like people act like San Diego's not a garbage place without that sun and that beach.
There's like two not garbage places.
Yeah, but that's the same. That's true of every city. You go to ask somebody from Detroit, hey, where is the place here where people with money live? And they'll be like, oh yeah, Fantasy Gardens or whatever the fuck. Yeah, everywhere has a place that's not garbage. But I just mean there's nothing. It's like if I could pick up both cities, like away from their weather and away from the water, and you compare the two, San Diego isn't that much nicer, but it's just where it is, and that the weather is everything. You know, it's like
I see that.
There's nothing in particular about San Diego that's awesome. I mean, Mexican food, you know.
Yeah, good Mexican food in Texas.
Yeah, good. Yeah, you get good Mexican food. You get good Mexican food in Mexico. You know what I mean? Very
So
close.
you're telling me that if you could take Williston, North Dakota, and that shit was 72 degrees year round, you think it'd be nice?
Yep. Anywhere that has nice weather and that's near the water, it's gonna be a nice place. You know, people gonna consider it to be a nice place, but a lot of times they be shitty places. A lot of the beach towns, if it wasn't for the beach, it'd be a shitty town that nobody wants to go to. You know?
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. It is
Now,
nice here. I like it.
Don't get me wrong. There are beach towns that aren't awesome, like that aren't considered awesome, like San Diego. But I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Long Beach.
Long Beach.
Like I know it's right by the water, but
I'm not real familiar with Long Beach, and honestly, I'm pretty sure most of Long Beach ain't by the beach. See, most of San Diego is by the beach. I mean, no matter where you at, you like 10 minutes, 15 minutes away from the beach tops, right?
Yeah. Well, Long Beach is all ports because you got San Pedro right there, and that's where all the ships come in. Right, so they ain't got no fucking sand. They just got iron docks and stuff.
It's like industrial shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what the fuck Snoop Dogg was talking about.
Yeah, well, see, rap music had me all fucked up. I thought Long Beach and Compton and Hollywood and all of that was all like close together.
I did too. I grew up in, like I said, I grew up in northern Michigan. I saw this stuff on TV, and I'm like, wow, that's gotta be. I'd sit there when I was like 17. I'd be sitting in my car getting high, listening to fucking music, and in my head I would picture California, and I'm like, man, this fucking place is beautiful, and you're in Long Beach, and you can go right to fucking Hollywood, and Hollywood's just all the movie stars and stuff, and like, and then I get to Hollywood Boulevard, and I'm like, this fucking place is like Skid Row.
Yeah, when I was moving here, at first I lived in Inglewood because I thought, oh, I recognize what that is. Yeah, and I could just come to the store from there, and I didn't realize and I didn't have a car, and it's like that's like that's like a 2.5 hour bus ride. I'm like, nah, I ain't be on the bus for no fucking 2 hours both ways. What the fuck? I didn't realize it was that far. I mean, it's not really that far, but it's like. Rush hour on the bus out here ain't no joke, man. You ain't got a car in LA, man.
It's not like New York. You have to have a car, but people don't realize. It could see for anybody that doesn't know, it's like 2 hours in LA could only be like 3 miles.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, or you go somewhere. You go to that same place at 3 a.m. and it take you 20 minutes, and you go there at 3 p.m, and it'll take you 2.5 hours. It'll take you an hour and a half if you got a car. I mean, if you try to go on the bus, nigga, that's all day. Like I used to, when I first moved here, and I used to be, I was in this shelter for veterans, right? This homeless shelter, but they make you go, you have to keep all your VA appointments, you know what I mean? And the VA, I lived on Sunset, I lived in Hollywood, and the VA is in Westwood. At least the one I had to go to was in Westwood. Damn. And yeah, bro. And it's like whenever I had a VA appointment, that was my whole day. Like even now, still, I live in North Hollywood now. I don't drive, but when I have to go to Westwood, it's like when I have an appointment there, that's all day. Like if the appointment's at say 1 p.m., I gotta leave the house at 10 to make sure I don't miss it. You know what I mean? And I get there early, and sometimes they it'll start on time. Sometimes they'll be behind, and I won't see the doctor till 2:30, and then I leave the house, and I don't get home till 5 because now it's rush hour. You know what I mean? And I don't get home till 5 because I gotta catch 2 buses, a train, and it's like it's ridiculous because the bus you just be on the bus in traffic on the bus. You know what I mean?
See, and I'm not trying to be like. I'm not trying to fucking say I hate people, but the good thing about this virus is nobody's out. So like if I had to go somewhere,
that's not true.
Dude, this whole month I haven't even factored in traffic when I went somewhere.
Oh yeah, like there's no traffic. But there's people out, and people are driving crazy as fuck now too.
Oh yeah.
Because
People are crazy. Like this has made people crazy. This has brought crazy out in people.
Yeah, because people
and
want.
If it wasn't there, it manifest.
When they see you, what's the word? When they see that you're, like I think people are just used to driving now without thinking about other cars and stuff. So people just fucking driving crazy. They just drive crazy. Like they don't be looking for people or cars or nothing. You know?
Do you you ever seen those Teslas? Somebody just sitting there fucking texting two hands. The Tesla's in fucking traffic, moving.
Oh yeah, I mean this city is the king of Teslas. This Tesla's everywhere, this motherfucker.
The fucking self-driving stuff. I don't know if I can trust that. I think in my opinion, we're 10 years away from me being like, yeah, I'll be comfortable with that.
I trust that more than I. Here's the deal with that. Is people that have a problem with the self-driving cars, when I hear somebody say that, what they really saying is, I don't trust that computer more than I trust me driving. Right? But let me frame the question to you a different way. Do you trust the computer more than you trust most other people's driving?
I don't trust him. I don't want to leave the house.
No, but I'm saying, say it was all computer cars except yours. You got to still drive.
Okay.
The way you want to drive. But everybody else's car was controlled by a computer that's designed to drive perfectly. Would you be okay with that?
I don't know. You ever seen iRobot? Will Smith was cool driving. He missed that. He fucking get in. He'd put it in manual.
All right, but didn't it kill somebody from doing that?
No, the fucking robots attacked him while he was driving.
No, what was it? I'm talking about, but the way the story started, he hated robots because he crashed, right?
Oh yeah, he got crashed, and then the robot saved him instead of the little girl because he had a better chance of surviving.
Right.
And he blamed it on the robots, and he hated them. So that dude from Let's Go to Prison, his boss was like, "Robots are fucking fine." But yeah. I would trust the computer because I know I'm in there like I was driving a truck. I was driving a fucking 10-speed, 80,000-pound truck, and it's a manual, and I'm eating and I'm Facebooking. And I'm sitting there and be like, this crazy motherfucker's trying to get in my lane. So maybe I'm a bad judge for any of that.
I'm a horrible driver. I would much rather a computer drive. You know, I'd much rather be driven than me driving. You know what I mean? I definitely want to be in charge of where the car is going. But I'm not a great driver. I mean, I'm a great driver when I'm at 100%. When I'm locked in and I'm focused, I'm a beast. But how often is that? I'm always distracted by something.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah,
like, do you ever go to Vegas?
Yeah, I'm going to Vegas. You know how many times? You know how many times I've been? You know how many times I've been on the how many times I've been on the highway or something, and then 20 miles go by, and then and all of a sudden I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck happened to that last 20 miles? Like I don't even remember driving. You know what I mean? It's like I think they call it highway hypnosis, where you just completely skip time. Yeah, that's scary as fuck. You could have died or drove off a cliff or whatever. It's like I just wasn't present for that whole 20 miles or 30 miles. That's crazy as shit. Let a computer do it. I'm good.
Yeah,
now,
I'm like that way, like texting and driving. Like I'll get in the car and I'll start driving and I'll look at my phone and there's like a BuzzFeed article, like the top 10 fucking celebrities who swore on television. And next thing you know, I've driven like 20 miles. So
the top 10 celebrities that swore on television.
Yeah, do you remember something Rocket? It was on Saturday Night Live in like the 80s. And he said fuck on live television. And he was something Rocket. So if you Google like Rocket, SNL, swearing, he was a dude that said fuck on live television. And Lorne Michaels got a lot of pull, so that dude never worked again. I think he was
Charles
like
Rocket.
Charles Rocket. But I think it's happened a couple times after that, though. But it hasn't ruined any other careers besides that dude.
On Saturday Night Live?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Even Eddie Murphy's behind him, like, oh shit! Oh, man.
Dude, do you remember
He played it cool though. He played it cool. I gotta respect that.
Do you remember how funny Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood it was and still is when Eddie Murphy used to do it?
No.
You don't remember that? We played like the ghetto Mr. Rogers.
My childhood memories are blurry as fuck. I mean, I vaguely remember it, but I don't remember anything in particular. You know,
because he did Saturday Live last year too. It was the first time he'd been on there since like the 80s, because David Spade had like made that joke about him, so he kind of had a beef with like Lauren, and he hosted it. I think just early.
Wait a minute. You missed me there. David Spade made a joke about Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, so he used to do.
How'd I give him a beef with Lauren Michaels?
So David Spade used to do the Hollywood Minute on Saturday Night Live, and he showed a picture of Eddie Murphy, and he's like, "Look, kids, a falling star." That was the joke, and yeah, so Eddie Murphy took it personally, and then because I think he called Lauren and bitched him out a little bit, and Lauren's like, "Well, what do you want me to do?" And then Eddie Murphy's like, "All right, motherfucker, fine, I'm not," and didn't fuck with him, but he just hosted it a little bit ago and then revived.
Hello?
Is Mr. there?
Yep, technology.
I kind of live off the beaten path. You know what I mean? Elon Musk can put a tunnel in Vegas, underneath Vegas, to help traffic, and I'm still living where some hills and trees are. So you get that rough internet, that satellite internet.
Yeah, well, that's a signal. That's a good wrapping point right there. What we got? We got an hour episode here.
So, but no, yeah, like I'm super pumped. I'm like starstruck with you, Brian, and I'm glad you actually agreed to do that. And I was all fucking like, you if you would have seen it prior, I'm telling my wife, I'm like, I'm gonna talk to this dude. He's on television. You probably don't remember me. I'm just some weird fucking dude that hit him up like, hey, what's up? But I'm actually glad you did it. And I think you're a funny dude, and I'm glad that like out of all the people, you see people drop in and out of comedy, and I'm glad you're doing it. Like I said, I love the Black People Pennies joke. I love the National Park getting 1-star thing. Like, it's good stuff. I appreciate that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And so I'm glad that you're up there still doing your thing. I think you're a super funny dude.
Thank you.
I think I want to see good things out of you. Like, I want to see, as your career goes on too, I want to see, fucking, maybe you win the best supporting actor one day. Maybe you'll be in one of those fucking movies and they'll be like, Brian, all right, you got to play a crackhead, but you're going to be like an insightful one and you're going to inspire somebody to play football.
Yeah. That sounds like a dream.
You know what I mean? Like Terrence Howard, when he's like, I'm not going to play a fucking crackhead or a pimp or something. They're like, all right, we got this movie called Hustle and Flow. And he's like, all right, I'll do it.
Right.
And then 3 6 Mafia won a fucking award for that. They won an Academy Award for that. Fuck yeah, for their song It's Hard Out Here for a Pimp. Academy Award, best song.
Wow.
Yeah. And then Eminem,
and it's true, it is not easy for pimps.
No, it is not.
No.
Or it might be for some fucking people. Who knows? I would find it difficult because you got to look at the logistics, and then the bookkeeping's got to be a fucking nightmare.
Yeah. and hole wrangling is an art. You know, it's like it's hard to keep holes wrangled. I bet. I mean, I don't know, but I imagine.
You got to keep them. You got to keep them around. You got to know where they are. You got to make sure they get their money on time.
Yeah.
It's just. It seems like a fucking headache.
You're like a hustler. You're like a hustler's hustler.
That's
See,
for better people.
That's why I chose comedy. A nice stable living. You know.
Yeah, there you go. Just it sounds easy.
Where there's no exploitation at all whatsoever.
No, it's fucking like Dave Chappelle said, or Eddie Griffin. One day you'll get up there, somebody will be like, "Listen, I love your stuff. We want you to wear a dress in this movie." And Dave Chappelle's on there. He's like, "Man, they're fucking telling us to, like, let's put us in dresses and fucking act gay and stuff like that." But that was a couple of years ago. I think it was talking about Tu Wong Fu.
Yeah, but it's like, yo, how much money they offer?
That's what I'm saying. I'll fucking put on a dress. I'll put on a dress right now and then fucking send off an edition tape and then in the hopes that it'll bank.
In my entire life, I don't think not even as a costume or a bed or nothing. I've never worn a dress.
Are you shitting me? I had one on this morning.
Yeah, I've never worn a dress or even like a long, like a muumuu or a dashiki or I forget what you call the things they wear in the Middle East, but one of those.
Yeah, or put one of those on.
I mean, listen, there's stuff. There's for me, there's stuff that I definitely would not do for money. But wearing a dress is not one of them. I put on a dress in a heartbeat.
Well, yeah. I've always kind of said it's like, you know, if it comes to like people are like, I'm not going to do anything for money. It's like, well, maybe because somebody hasn't offered you a lot of money to do something. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like the old things people used to say is like, would you let Mike Tyson fuck you in the ass for $1 million? And then people don't take that into perspective. Like $1 million.
That's very specific. Well, it's got to be Mike Tyson.
But not now when he's all like calmed down. But I'm talking like Iron Mike back in the day, like right after Buster Douglas when he's all pissed off. $1 million tax-free cash, and nobody even has to know about it, just you, Mike, and the money handler.
You, Mike, and the money handler. How come Mike can't hand you the money?
Well, no, because he's waiting in the room. Like he's waiting in the room, and then the guy comes out and he's like, "Listen, Mr. Tyson, he's really happy that you were here to make it, and so we're just gonna go in there. He's gonna be sitting there."
I would mostly be concerned about ass trauma, you know, because that ain't worth it.
Well,
$1 million, $1 million ain't a lot of money. That's not enough money.
But it's a lot of money, though.
No, it is not, dude. That's not enough money for lifelong anal trauma, because that's what we talking about here.
It will last a month, and then you'll probably start healing up.
I mean, how you know how long it'll last? It ain't how you know. I'm talking like somebody.
WebMD.
WebMD. Let's see what WebMD says about anal trauma.
Severe anal
trauma. Well, I typed in anal trauma WebMD and I got
Pornhub.
I got anal fissures. So I guess that's what they call them. Who gets anal fissures? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, no. Well, it doesn't say how long it'll last. It says to help these fissures heal, eat a healthy diet and get plenty of fiber. Stay well hydrated.
Yeah, see?
Avoid being constipated. Yeah, but it doesn't say how long they'll take to heal.
Well, it's kind of like this. It's kind of like this virus. You know what I mean? They're telling people stay at home, and the more people stay at home, the shorter the timeline is. But if you're out there and you're like after a week of anal trauma, and you're like, I want to go play basketball or something.
Wait a minute. This right here gives you plenty of idea. It says an anal fissure is considered acute if it recently happened or if you've had it less than 6 weeks. So that's 6 weeks minimum. It's considered chronic if it's been more than 6 weeks or if it comes back often. So it can keep coming back. No. Oh, or God forbid you get a prolapsed asshole. That's
well, okay.
That's another danger
dude,
you're not thinking about.
Speaking of prolapsed asshole, you know what I just learned the other day? It's a great fact. LL Cool J, he had that song in the 90s, Pink Cookies in a plastic bag getting crushed by buildings. It's an actual song. That's about anal prolapse. An LL
What?
Cool J song.
How you know that?
Because he
Did he
fucking
say that?
confirmed it on Twitter. He confirmed it on Twitter. He's like, yeah, it's about turning. And he made the little peach emoji. He's like, it's about turning a girl's peach emoji inside out.
Ew, that's gross.
But I mean, that's what fucking LL Cool J was talking about in the 90s. You know what I mean? Hey, lover. He's doing that fucking lip. You know, but he's fucking turning girls inside out.
You're gonna need surgery for rectal repair. See, I don't know. See, no, it would have to be in the hundreds of millions of dollars.
Come on, Mike Tyson could fuck somebody in the ass for free, but he's giving you the cash up front. Maybe he'll call you again. He's like, look, it'll go down each time. Like, it won't be $1 million, but I can pop off
somebody. Not me. He can fuck somebody for free.
You can go like
But see, but I asked you why specifically Mike Tyson, and you're like, no, fucking cocaine fueled savage Mike Tyson. So I'm guessing that what you're trying to convey is for $1 million, someone's going to destroy your asshole.
No, you know what I mean? No, he could be nice. No?
Oh, so then how come it can't be right now, Mike Tyson? Why's it got to be? Heavyweight champion of the world, Mike Tyson.
Because I think he's more at peace with himself nowadays and wouldn't do that.
Why does it have to be Mike Tyson? Period. Why? That's what I'm saying. Like that's a weird specificity. Also, whatever. $1 million ain't enough for me. I mean, it would have to be in the hundreds of millions.
Jesus, I was gonna say they'd have to pay me $1 million to make him stop. But I can't.
No. For $100 million. And I wouldn't even care if people knew.
100. It don't have to be $100 million.
It don't have to be a secret. I just gotta be good. But $1 million, most of that's gonna be gone with medical bills. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. But that's implying that it's gonna be torn up. Maybe there's not trauma. Maybe there's that factor.
Right. See, this is what happened. You remember 12 minutes ago when I was like, I think that's a good stopping point. This is what happens when you go past the stopping point. You run out of shit.
Nothing good happens after midnight. So
then it becomes, how much money would it take? Yeah. All right, man. It's been a good convo.
These are burning questions that fucking Brian Simpson fans want to
know. Yeah. The world needs answers. I get it. I'm here for my fans. But yeah, man, good luck on the podcast. Let me know when you post the episode.
I'm gonna fucking start editing this shit right after we stop.
All right, yeah. Hit me with the link.
All right, dude. Well, I appreciate you doing this. Like I said, love your shit. Keep up the good work, and we'll talk in the future.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Yep. Later.